So speaking of TradCon, so here's the challenge we got in modern society. Conservatives, I don't know if conservative men really want to take L's or if there's a lot of weak pastors making money off of single women in the churches. And I saw this firsthand. So I lived in Milwaukee for a few years. And I joined this, like, I was trying to figure out what religion I was because I grew up Catholic. So I joined this Protestant church. And I was in it for like 2 years, maybe 3. And I did Bible study once a week. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. You made a lot of friends in the church. But what I realized was after 2 to 3 years, I went on like a woman's retreat, and every single woman there was like older than me and single. And in that moment, I was like, I think I just wanted a boyfriend. And because what happens is the pastors, they kind of screw these women. They tell the women they have to date a man that's super godly without talking about the fact that most of the women aren't virgins. And what they convince the women to do is do this born again virgin stuff, which is the absolute worst thing you can do if you're trying to, like, if you're a car and you're a used car but you have new car prices. The only person that's going to buy that is an absolute simp. Okay, so here we go. Share this tab instead. So I saw a clip
thing
that I thought kind of embodied this, like, problems I've seen in the churches. So here.
What's up?
What's up, brother?
What's up, Myron? I wanted to add on to the Christian virgin thing.
Please do.
Because I was in that same exact situation. The 18-year-old Christian virgin who, and you guys know what I'm talking about. I was in that same exact situation. I was raised Christian. I'm still a Christian, but very religious, and I was taking it very seriously for a long time. I was trying to do the right thing, wait till I'm married to have kids, or wait till I'm married to have sex. And when I was 23 years old, I was looking around at my church, and I was like, oh, wow. None of the girls here are virgins. None of the girls at church are virgins, and a lot of the guys at church are virgins. And so I see you get that question a lot.
Yeah, and the problem with the guys in the church is most of them don't have a ton of experience with women. So they don't know how to hold frame in a relationship. They don't know how to tell women no, and they automatically default to the woman. I mean, when I was in the church, I mean, I would say the majority of even couples in churches, the woman still runs the relationship. And oh my gosh, there's a lot of simping in the church. Like the pastors will go on stage and say, oh, like they'll do like a monologue, not dedicated to God, but to their wife. It never ends.
And it makes sense. But like you said, it's 2025 and there's no virgin women anymore. And a virgin man is going to get taken advantage of. So like, yeah, it is ideal to wait till marriage, but it's kind of not an option. I think you're going to get screwed over. I'm 30 now. I caught up for lost times. I went out there and had some sex, but but like, there's no other. I didn't even want to. I wanted to wait till marriage, but I was like, it's gonna fuck up my life to do that. So, anyways, I see you get that question from Christians a lot, and I agree with you. I think you're right, and this is Christians. I think are coping and.
Muslims too. The Muslims give me the shit about that. All the religions of the book give me shit about this. You know, and I grew up in a Muslim household, so for them, they're like, this is like, 100 lashes worthy. Like this is bad. But like, I tell them all the time, like, dude, look, if you can be a virgin and find a virgin wife, do it. Like, go for it. But it's just not feasible advice for me to give that advice to men in 2025, knowing what's out there. Like, guys, I've seen unspeakable thottery that I can never recover from. And just knowing what I know, it would be evil for me to tell you guys to just stay a virgin and go get these, like, and go deal with these women, dude. It's like, I've seen girls do evil fucking shit. Tell a guy that they're a virgin, make them pay $50,000 for their virginity when they're not, or lie to a guy and tell them that I did XYZ, get a hymen surgery to make it look like they're still virgins, or only do anal or whatever. Like, I've seen horrible things. So in good faith of me knowing how women move and dealing with the women, I've interviewed like 4,000 girls, been with a bunch of girls. I cannot in good faith lie to the men Like, I'm going to tell you what's out there. This is how I think you can deal with the problem. You don't have to take my advice, but I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you, like, be a virgin, be a good Christian, and you're going to find a wife. That's setting you up. That's a cruising for a fucking bruising, man. And then the scariest part with the way the family courts are, like, not only will you get your heart broken, you're going to get poor. You're going to live out your fucking car. She's going to take you to the cleaners a lot of times, and she's going to take your kids. So it's like, I can't in good faith tell any man that, even if, you know, you're the most religious guy, I need to at least arm you with the information so you know what you're walking into.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I see you get that question all the time.
Yeah, I get a lot, dude. Yeah.
You're absolutely, and I understand the people asking.
Yeah, it's a good question.
I even agree. It is ideal to be a virgin. It's just.
Yeah, but you're going to get cooked. I don't know a single virgin guy. I actually know. I know one. There's always one or two Chads in the church that take the virgin chick, and they take the best girl in the church. All the girls are after him, and then they get married and live happily ever after. But the rest of them cooked. They're so, and that's the thing, you know. A lot of people, I don't know how to put it. They think I'm, you know, promoting degeneracy, but I'm just saying, you know, I don't see virginity really for either gender being effective. Like, I've seen women in those churches wait till marriage, and they can't figure out why they don't like the men there. And it's really because all the men are just trained to be simps that worship women. And so the virgin women go into these churches. If they try to date normal guys, the guys are like, I'm not waiting for marriage. I don't even know if you're a virgin, right? And then they date the guys in the church, and a lot of these guys are just super simps, you know. But then the men that are virgins in the church, I mean, they get either born again virgins, or they just don't know how to lead a relationship, or they get a null array. That's why it's tough, because there is a part of me that, you know, I have a Catholic upbringing, and I think, well, you know, you don't want to promote degeneracy. And a lot of, they don't like when I say this. I don't see it working out for women either. I've met 30-year-old virgin women, and they're so controlling and anxious about sex. Like, they just think they're going to die if they have sex. And there's so much pressure on whoever they lose their virginity to. It's like the guy can't live up to it. And they die alone too. You guys, I get a lot of pushback for this opinion, but I've seen it. I've seen the 30-year-old women who think none of the guys are godly enough because they want to have sex. And they'll shoot themselves in the foot with what would have been a good relationship, because they're just so anxious about it.
That's just not how it goes anymore.
Yeah. And marriages are optimal. Like, if the woman's the virgin or has like less than 5 body count, like, you know, those have the highest marriage rates, especially if she's a virgin. But dude, just nowadays, it's like damn near impossible, man. It's just and you know, the scary part is, like, I've noticed this trend as I've like been interviewing girls on my show. Girls are losing their virginity younger and younger and younger, man. Like, the guys are still losing their virginities like between 21 to somewhere in their mid 20s, like 18 to
Okay, so what I see again is I see a bigger difference in women. It's either the clueless women or the women playing the game. The women playing the game, I see them losing their virginities younger and younger. The clueless women, I see them actually losing their virginities older. But the problem is they are so unlikable and clueless to what men want, because they spend no time with the guy. And again, I think I said on a show that for certain women, a slut phase will get them married. And I get a lot of pushback for that, but you don't know how far behind. Like, I just think some of you guys have never met these extremely socially awkward, extremely unlikable women that really, they're not going to learn until they get pumped and dumped once or twice. Because what happens is a pump and dump humbles a woman, right? That's how a lot of women get married. They get pumped and dumped, and then they're like, oh shit. And then they, you know, you kind of go to your league. But these women, they get a big ego because they've never played the game. they just get these huge egos. They think, they're God's gift to the earth, even though, because, they're pure, but really it's just, they're really unlikable. So what happens is they, like, the longer they go without having interactions with men or getting some experience, the weirder they get. That's what I've seen between the two. Like, if I had to categorize the women I've met, because, how do I put it? Like, there's a difference between women that were raised to be wives waiting. So women that wait till marriage, but their mother taught them how to be a good wife, they're a different category. And there's the women that were not. And the women that were not taught how to do that have a very difficult time waiting till marriage, because they weren't taught how to defer to a man. They weren't taught any of these basic things. So their, like, I guess, purity or whatever, it doesn't help, because they have to learn to be more likable and how to be in a relationship. Does that make sense, guys? And if you haven't been in some of these churches, like, anybody that's been in these churches knows the women I'm talking about. You just know. Okay.
Young gets to like 21, 22, but like girls are losing it like in their teens. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So
that's the case at church too. And you'll complain about this to pastors, and there's a lot of weak, I don't know what to call them, feminist or beta male pastors, but they'll give you this advice: women are queens, be gentle, be nice, and just wait for the right girl. God will provide. That I tried doing that. None of that worked. None of that. It was Andrew Tate that came around, and I got red pilled. I'm 30 now, so I was. There was Sam Hyde and Gavin McInnes and other people.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, that's where I found out the truth about women, isn't it? And I'm still a Christian, but it's unfortunate. I think we got a lot of weak pastors, and they're not being honest and being real with women.
Yeah, and if a guy decides, you know what, Myron, I appreciate your advice and everything, but I'm gonna stay a virgin and find that girl. Cool. At least
Yeah.
I just want the guys to know and have that information and then make that decision themselves. I don't want them to be like, oh, well, like I can find her and I don't know any better, and then they get fucking finessed by some fucking thought. Because look, I hate to say it, like, look at Steven Crowder, right? Devout Christian, successful, right? Smart, all these things, wildly, successful in the conservative media space. His wife was a devout Christian. What did she do? She still keeps his last name, still clouches off his name. She divorced him, tried to destroy his name, tried to take $30,000 a month from him, etc. And she tried to destroy his reputation. She colluded with his enemies at the Daily Wire and Yashar Ali, this fucking loser, and gave this information. She put like a doctored ring cam video when they were having a private dispute, and tried to paint it in a way where he was being abusive, and she edited it. Like, what the fuck? And this is supposed to be a devout Christian woman. She tried to destroy this man's life. So this is what awaits you guys a lot of the times with these women. And I just want you to go in with your eyes wide open, that even the most devout Christian woman can always reserve the right to become a feminist and a bitch at any time. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, the women at church are, anyways, I'll get out of here, but
no, I appreciate you saying that, dude. I appreciate you saying that, because it's like, guys think I'm just like some crazy womanizer, like, and I don't get it. And it's great to, hear from someone who's a devout Christian. Like, look, dude,
I'm from the front lines. I saw it all. Like, no, literally, the girls at church aren't virgins, and then the girls at church aren't into the guys at church. Yeah, it sucks. So
yeah, and it's because the pastor, there's so many people propping up the women's ego in these churches. Like, it does not give them the ability to take an L, because every time they bang a guy and he doesn't call him back, it's, oh, he was just using you and you were broken. It's not, hey, you were horny, that's normal, and you probably just aren't likable, or he's out of your league. That's honest. Because women's burden of performance doesn't start until after the sex. So the challenge you get with waiting till marriage is it alleviates women from the burden of performance, which is the ability to keep men after sex. So if a woman's unlikable and she's a virgin, just because she has sex, it doesn't make her likable. Just because she's pure, it doesn't make her likable. And most of these women are not virgins at the church, but because I've been involved in some of these churches, I've just seen it. Like I went to a Catholic church once, and this bitch came up to me, and she's like, "Oh, I'll pray for you." I'm like, "What is wrong with you? Why would that why would a passive aggressive I'll pray for you be a normal thing to say?" And it's not, they never say it in a loving tone. You know what they mean. You know what these hoes mean.
I don't know. I think part of the problem is we got these pastors just are too scared to call out the women. I don't know quite.
Well,
Pay them.
the women are the ones that pay to the church. Like they're the ones that donate a lot of money or whatever. That's why they kind of like have been cucked out so much. Yeah.